So this next question that I'm going to be addressing is, what's the relationship between the language spoken at home and the language which is learned? What are the relationship between the two? And I'm just going to speak from my own experiences and also from the readings and findings that I found, which is that there is value in both the native language and also in the English language, the language that is learned. There needs to be a value in both of those. Even so, our President Obama signed the ESSA Act, which tells us that there needs to be a maintenance of students' native language and the value of them keeping that native language alive. And so, it's really important that we have that both those languages go hand in hand together, because ultimately when students, research has shown that when students are proficient in their native language, then it also translates into them being proficient in the English language as well. And culture, how does it factor into all of this? It just plays such a big role, because if we understand a student's culture, then we understand how they construct knowledge, and we can also understand when there is misinterpretation or miscommunication, and we can address those as well. Even more culture, and it just plays a big role in knowing who our students are as people, knowing who their parents are, the structure of their family, their likes, dislikes, hobbies, knowing and understanding our students and being able to blend the two worlds together. I think that is the goal of what teachers should be doing, and we shouldn't just be following by this is the rules of the books and how we should teach, but bringing in lessons that are meaningful to our students. When we can incorporate culture and language into our lessons, into our classroom, into our curriculum, then it helps us so that students are more engaged and more involved. And education is not just ultimately our academic success, but also in culturally who we are as people too. For instance, growing up, I did not speak English at all. I grew up speaking only Hmong. My parents immigrated to the United States because of the Vietnam War, and after the Vietnam War, they came here, and my parents really wanted to enrich our lives with our culture. And so we only spoke Hmong, but I remember my mom telling me that when you are successful in America, because you can speak the language, you can go to school and you can do well, then you are successful, but you're not fully 100% successful. You are successful when you can bring in when you're successful in the American world, but also if you keep your culture alive, if you remember who you are as a Hmong girl, when you remember your community, your ethnic group, when you can bring back to your community and you can still speak the language and still understand the culture, that's what makes you successful, is when you have two different worlds and you see the value in both of them. And so there is definitely a blend in culture and language, and holistically all of it coming together. When we help our students to value all of that, then they can truly be successful, and it'll help them to find their identity and just to be confident in who they are as students, which will translate into their academic success as well. So I hope I answered this question completely. I know I stumbled in a few things, but I guess that's it.